So, Assalamualaikum and a very good day. Today we are from Group 2. We'll be presenting on our project proposal titled The IKEA Cultural Differences in Sweden and China. So, next slide, please. So before we move into our proposal, let's get some context about the company that we're um, researching. So IKEA is a globally recognized Swedish multinational company that specializes in ready-to-assemble furniture, home accessories, kitchen appliances, as well as interior design services. It was founded in 1943 by Ingvar Kamprad in Sweden, and the name IKEA itself is actually an acronym that is derived from the founder's initials, his family farm, his home, as well as his hometown. The company itself originally started as a mail order business and slowly began to sell furniture in 1948, and now has ever since grown into the world's largest furniture retailers with over 470 stores operating in more than 16 plus countries. So the company itself is very well known with its modern and minimalist Scandinavian designs, which pay homage to its origins and its founder. And due to its unique business model that very emphasizes affordability, it opens the path for IKEA to create a better everyday life for the many people and centers on offering functional and well-designed home furnishings. It is headquartered in Delft, Netherlands, and it is primarily run by the Inca Group. So next slide. So now that we understand the context, so the problem statement that we face or the issues that we chose for this study is that we want to focus on one of IKEA's Chinese branch, which is based in Shanghai. It is reported that when IKEA is moved into China, and particularly, like I've mentioned, in Shanghai, it has faced significant cultural dissonance that is rooted due to language barriers as well as difference in culture. This, and considering that IKEA itself is rooted in Scandinavian roots, this conflict became much more emphasized and much more, the difference is much more obvious. So our objective of our study is to not only explore the reasons that cause these issues in the first place, but also propose some solutions to resolve this issue. So I'll pass this to the next presenter.
Okay, so for our research methodology, our research approach is to mix both qualitative and quantitative methods. And we also would like to have a literature review on all the communication stories that we can find. For the data collection method, we would love to propose to have an interview session with the IKEA employees and all their managers. We also would like to have a we also would love to spread survey for both China and Sweden customer to understand more about the problem and the cultural difference here. Next, for the data analysis technique, we would like to analyze the IKEA employees and managers' opinions upon this issue, and we would love to compare the culture differences and the needs from both Sweden and China customers. Next, for our findings, as for now, we find that there are two models or theories that are suitable to overcome this issue. The first one is the developmental model of intercultural sensitivity, or also known as DMIS, which include the miscommunication that brought by the cultural differences that we can see here between the Sweden and the China. So there are big differences in leadership and decision-making styles that we can see between these two countries. Next model or theories is the Trompenas theory. So we can see that Sweden follows an individualistic approach while China emphasizes more on the communitarism. So there is difference here, and we believe that the best practice for IKEA now is to apply the Trompenas model adaptation because it can enhance the intercultural communication and also keep the IKEA brand identity while also adapting the market tactics locally. Now, I'll pass it to the next presenter.
Thank you, Sister Damia, for the explanation. Now I'll be presenting about Islamic business ethics. As Islamic business ethics a strong emphasis on interacting in a fair, open, and respectful manner. Known for his ability to communicate politely and effectively, the Prophet Muhammad SAW ensured that business transactions were clear and comprehended by each of the seller and also the customers. And thus, IKEA could incorporate Islamic values by making the ethical marketing with cultural sensitivity. First, the Islamic business ethic discouraged deceptive advertising and emphasized honesty in product representation. IKEA can ensure its marketing respects the local traditions and the consumer values in both Sweden and also the China branch by tailoring campaigns that reflect communal harmony and also sustainability values encouraged in Islam. And the second one, which is honesty and integrity in negotiations. Essential tenet of Islamic commercial ethics and truthfulness in transaction, the Prophet Muhammad SAW emphasized that a merchant who is truthful and trustworthy will be blessed in their trade. If IKEA fosters ethical negotiation practices, ensuring fair pricing and clear contract terms, they will definitely enhance long-term trust with clients and stakeholders. Number third, which is inclusivity and cultural respect in the workplace. Islam encourages inclusivity and respect for diversity. IKEA can implement cross-cultural leadership training programs to help employees understand and embrace different customs and working style of both of the company. By ensuring ethical labor policies and mutual respect among employees, IKEA can definitely cultivate a harmonious and productive product work environment. So for the UN SDG alignment, IKEA approach to resolve the communication issue align with several UN SDG. For the first one, goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. By fostering a culturally inclusive workplace, IKEA can enhance employee satisfaction and productivity towards a greater success. Goal number 10, which is reduce inequalities. By implementing cross-cultural training and using adaptation strategies, will definitely help in creating equal opportunities for both the employees and customers from different cultural backgrounds. For the last one, which is goal 12, responsible consumption and production. As IKEA's localization efforts in ensuring sustainable business practice will definitely respect the cultural diversity as they focus on the customer's needs first. By integrating the cultural value, Islamic business ethics will definitely promote their business strategies in the good manner in the future. Okay, that's all from me. Next presenter.
Now, moving on to the proposed solution for this issue. This one is to create a culturally inclusive internet communication campaign. So basically, this campaign is to design internet communication strategies that reflect and respect the cultural values like holidays, work styles, and communication preferences of diverse employee groups. The goal is to make employees feel recognized, respected, and connected no matter their background. So why do we choose this? Why do we propose this solution is because it can promote belonging and inclusion. Because when employees see their cultural identities represented and respected in the workplace, they feel a stronger sense of belonging, and this can increase their morale, engagement, and emotional investment in the company. Besides, it strengthens company culture across borders. So by showing sensitivity to local cultures while reinforcing company-wide values like collaboration, respect, or innovation, inclusive campaigns help maintain a consistent yet flexible corporate identity while fostering unity without erasing diversity. So the second solution that I propose is to establish a clear and culturally adaptive communication protocols, where it's almost similar, but this protocol is more like a set of company-wide communication guidelines that reflects both global corporate standards and local cultural preferences. So this protocol standardizes things like tone, email etiquette, meeting conduct, and feedback styles while allowing for flexibility. So these protocols basically define how communication should happen across organizations and where they address things like tone and formality, emails, and documents. So how does it help this issue? Basically, it ensures clarity and professionalism. Because by setting shared expectations, teams across countries know how to communicate efficiently while avoiding unintentional offense. And it could also encourage mutual global collaboration. By standardizing yet adaptable communication, it helps global teams avoid friction and collaborate with mutual understanding. Basically, it helps avoid missteps of offense. These two solutions are proposed because they directly address the communication challenges caused by cultural differences. And By doing this, business can build stronger teams, increase operational efficiency, and maintain a positive reputation across different markets. Moving on to the next.
Okay, so we come up to the implementation strategy. So for the local communication leads in the planning global internet campaign, so the company pre-strategic pillar, they should focus on fostering the cultural inclusion and also increasing the employee representation. So this can begin with the integration of local holidays and tradition into the international communication. So events such as Chinese New Year, Mid-Autumn Festival, it is important festival in China. So it will be prominently featured across the newsletter, email, and also internet platform. So this initiative is designed to enhance the employee recognition and also foster a sense of cultural connection across all operational regions. So next, the company will implement a structured approach to highlight employee voices through the stories, interview, recognition, and also campaigns. So the diverse cultural perspective and individual contribution will be showcased in the post. So for example, during the for example, like during in the International Women's Day, the bilingual campaigns will be in Mandarin and also English. So it will feature employee quotes. This can help to reinforce inclusivity and also the global understanding. And additionally, interior visual and symbols and tone will be carefully adapted to reflect the local cultural nuance while maintaining the consistency with IKEA global brand identity. And lastly, encouraging managers to recognize the cultural significant accomplishment in team meetings. This will help to foster a cultural inclusion in IKEA. And moving on to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, so the second strategic pillar for the company that should be centered on tailoring the communication practices to local context. So that's why it is important to develop a communication handbook. All internet content will be translated into the relevant local language and also will incorporate culturally appropriate reference to ensure that there is a clarity and also emotional resonance to all people in the company. So a key component of this strategy is involving the local communication that can lead in planning global internet campaigns, and their insights are essential because you want to ensure that message is both relevant and also comprehensive. Communication handbook. This guide will outline the region-specific tone preference, such as when to use the formal versus informal languages, best practices for the virtual meetings across the time zones, and also culturally aligned formats for emails, report, and presentation, so that everyone know about the cultural sensitivity. So the local team in the company will play a vital role because it want to shape this guideline to ensure that they are practical and also contextually um, and appropriate. Furthermore, the regional communication coordinator will be appointed because they want to oversee the implementation and ongoing monitoring for these protocols. So the handbooks and practices will be regularly updated based on the employees' feedback. So it can evolve the cultural trends and also ensure continuous improvement in alignment with the local needs. And I think that's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter.
So lastly, the expected outcomes and also benefits that can be gained from all these strategies employed is that the first one is that it can ensure a much more smoother communication between the main headquarters as well as the local branches. And not to mention, this can also strengthen the or maintain the consistency in the brand messaging, which gives space with towards cultural nuance. Next is that it can not only it can keep company practices much more culturally responsive and aware across markets, but also promote continuous improvements and relevance in the market, and in turn can help in building trust among employees and consumers alike. And lastly, by promoting a sense of belonging and cross-cultural understanding within the company, it can help celebrate the diversity and also give voice to those who are underrepresented, as well as increase the employees' motivation and brand pride, as well as encourage advocates among not only the employees but also customers alike. So that is all from us. Thank you very much.